Dr. Greenspan defined emotional range by a child's ability to experience and identify a full range of various emotions. But it wasn't just identifying and understanding these emotions, it was actually regulating through them, finding equilibrium, finding balance after and while experiencing them. This is an important distinction because many people think of emotional range as simply identifying emotions. A child being able to say that they're happy, angry, sad, excited, frustrated, lonely, scared, anticipatory, etc. However, simply saying these things does not necessarily help us fully regulate them, fully balance them out. While identifying them as part of it, the other part of it is learning to experience them within what we call a co-regulated interaction or relationship. This actually begins in infancy with our caregivers. Take, for example, a child experiencing a new physical sensation, such as getting in their car seat for the first time, or going to a new place, or any other experience. These experiences can be stressful, overwhelming, and cause what we call dysregulation, but many children work through them or even enjoy some of the processes because of how they're performed. If we simply pick the child up and put them in the car seat without looking at them in the face and smiling, and instead we're talking to another person next to us, the child is more likely going to be overstimulated and confused by the experience. However, if we toss the child in the air, turn them into an airplane for a second, are laughing and smiling with them as they zoom into the car seat, they're looking at the smile on our face, we're being calm, we're being slow, we're being soft. Now the child knows that this is not a scary transition. This is a warm, positive experience that we're sharing with our caregiver. Yes, the feeling of the car, the look of the car might be different and new and potentially overwhelming, but because we shared the experience in what we call a co-regulatory emotional exchange with our caregiver, now we learn to balance the experience instead of be overstimulated and overwhelmed by it. It's important we do this around a broad range of experiences and emotions. This is what allows us to develop an emotional range. Inevitably, people are going to have a stronger ability to regulate and experience different emotions than others. Some adults still struggle with anger. They might be able to tolerate a little bit of frustration, but not a lot of frustration, which really sets them off and they can't calm down from, and they really lose it. Some people can experience a little bit of warmth, security in a relationship, but they can't experience true intimacy. It is in these situations that a person is said to not have a full range of emotions. What Dr. Greenspan meant by full range was to be able to experience and understand each of the various emotions as well as the different textured elements of those emotions. Because as we get older, it's not if we're just happy or sad, it's how happy are we? Are we very happy, medium happy, or just a little bit happy? And the same thing with sad, angry, and frustrated. Being able to understand and identify these emotions and this range of emotions is important, but the key ingredient is being able to experience these emotions while maintaining balance and equilibrium within a social, engaged relationship. If we can't get frustrated while staying connected with someone and talking about our frustration, then we'd said that we are not experiencing a full range of these emotions, at least not experiencing them in a way that is adaptive. If we have to walk away when we get frustrated or angry, we are not staying regulated and balanced. However, if we're able to stay there, stay calm, and talk it through with the person we're frustrated with or the people or whatever the situation entails, then we are balanced and regulated and coping and understanding that emotion while also identifying and describing it. When people rev up, react strongly and impulsively, or avoid and withdraw in response to different emotions, it's said that they are not experiencing that emotional range in the most mature and adaptable way. However, if we can stay engaged, stay involved, stay calm, stay communicative, stay balanced and regulated in equilibrium, then we do experience that emotion and those emotions within a full range. Again, this develops in infancy. This starts with getting emotional signaling from our caregiver, having experiences where caregivers are there to support and soothe us, give us hugs and squishes, and let us know everything's going to be okay, and learn to calm down through the emotional exchange from the caregiver early in life that allows us to maintain this equilibrium balance later in life. However, if ignoring and consistently allowing a child to cry things out are the techniques that were being used, unfortunately, a child is not learning to regulate themselves off of emotional feedback and the co-regulative interactions that are necessary and have been scientifically proven to help wire the brain in these areas. Instead, the child is learning to suppress those emotions and the associated behavior. It's important to think about how self-soothing in both of those instances leads to different outcomes. One leads to an emotionally engaged child because we're helping them learn to self-soothe by modeling it for them and staying calm, providing them with empathy and support, which leads to all of these higher level emotional outcomes. Or we are leading a child down a more challenging road where they're being isolated when they're experiencing emotions. And unfortunately, instead of getting feedback and learning from the experience with a caring, loving, nurturing caregiver, they're actually not learning from the experience and unfortunately coming to sometimes the wrong conclusions or developing maladaptive wiring in their brain.